You could want someone's life and you'd want to switch places with them. Not all that glitters is gold. Hey everyone, my name's Maria and I did a live a week ago where someone asked me how do I deal with comparison and envy. So I thought why not turn it into a video also. And with comparison in this context, it would usually be where you always put others above you and consequently you end up at the bottom. For instance, thoughts of others are more attractive than me, they have more money than me, they're more established than me, whatever it may be. And as a result of this comparison, that's where the envy now comes in, where you begin to covet these blessings in other people's lives, where you think, like with the examples I gave, they're more attractive than me. I wish I was as attractive as them. They have more money than me. I wish I was as rich as them. They're more educated than me. They're more this, they're more that. And I'm gonna give advice as to why I believe you really shouldn't compare yourself to anyone or envy others. Now, with comparison, one thing that I've constantly reiterated on my channel is that everyone's season is different. And by that I mean, you may be looking at another person and thinking, for instance, I'm 21, and you may think, oh, they're in a relationship already, they're about to get married, or they've got a job, I've left college, I'm broke, all those things. But the thing is, you don't know when your exaltation is gonna come. Essentially, not everyone's season of blessing arrives at the same time. There's some people who maybe are blessed enough to be financially independent at a very young age. There's even in this day and age, 19-year-old millionaires, 20, 21, that might seem like an extreme example, but you may look at yourself and think, oh, but I'm that age and I'm not there yet. God has an individual plan for each and every single person, and it is unique to you. No one's story is going to be an exact replica of yours. Yes, there's nothing new under the sun, but you are an individual person with an individual story that's written out for you. And I'm sure many of you would have grown up hearing your teachers tell you, if you're like everyone else, it would be boring. Like, imagine if everyone had the exact same story. Like, no uniqueness, no nothing. And another thing that I always say, delay is not denial. Just because you may not have a certain blessing yet and you see that others around you have attained it, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have it in the future. You could be looking at someone and thinking they're so much better than me in different areas, I'm so far behind, but you don't know in the future you could end up literally overtaking them and becoming greater than them. Not that that's the goal, like, oh, you have to be better than everyone. But again, it just shows why you can't envy. You don't know how things are going to turn out for you. And the problem with comparison is always, well, at least for the most part, viewed through the lens of lack. They have this and I don't. And the problem with that is we'll end up with a heart full of ungratitude because we're so focused on what we don't have, we don't realize what we do have. Now, with jealousy, you usually hear people, I guess, justify it and say, oh, it's a natural human emotion, everyone feels it, there's nothing wrong with it. And whilst I do understand, yes, as human beings, we can sometimes have feelings of envy and jealousy, I don't think it's something that should be normalized just because maybe many people can feel it. I personally believe envy is very wicked, and I'm about to explain that. Firstly, with jealousy, I think it's not right because I believe as people, we envy what we don't know or understand. And by that, I mean, we can look at someone's life and see a certain blessing, but we don't see the full picture. The perfect example I believe I could give, which essentially anyone should be able to understand, would maybe be jealousy when it comes to the people in high places. And by high places, I mean celebrities, politicians, the rich, just anyone in this world that has a position of power or authority in society. Those are the ones that people could really envy. But I guess the best example would be the idols of this world. I don't believe in idolizing people, but maybe, for example, musicians, just those who seem like they've got it all. Their life is perfect. Fame, fortune. Let me just say a name of someone who just about anyone in the world knows. Justin Bieber. There could be people out there who think, I wish I was Justin Bieber. He's rich, he's famous, he has all of this. But I believe that jealousy is unfair, because no, you don't wish you had his life. You wish you had the good parts of his life. But it doesn't work like that. All we need to realize, not every aspect of a person's life is good. And I've watched lots of interviews where the coveted ones of our society have come out to say how depressed they are and how they really hate elements of their lives that people envy. Like, I'm talking about Ariana Grande, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Demi Lovato. I'm watching their interviews and they're saying they hate how they can't go out in public in peace anymore. They don't even like doing red carpets. They feel depressed. And I don't know if some of you have also noticed how some of the people who we perceive to have it all in this world, they end up passing early. It's very odd. And maybe sometimes it can be natural causes, but I've seen many instances where the cause of their early demise was a result of taking their own lives, drug abuse, and all kinds of things. So with that said, it should really show you that things are not always what they seem. We don't have the full picture. You may look at someone with a heart full of envy and want to switch places with them so that you could take on all their blessings, but if you were to take on all their blessings, you'd have to take on the curse also. What do I mean by that? There could be someone who has money, fame, fortune, all those things, but they're battling all kinds of things mentally. They're going through all kinds of things behind the scenes. Now, if you know me, you know I love watching movies, TV series, and I, like many others, grew up watching Disney and Nickelodeon, and I really wanted to be a Disney star growing up. I even remember looking up online how I could get into auditions and stuff. But have you guys noticed how many child stars grow up and they're really, really, really messed up? There's this one man, he was one of the main actors in Drake and Josh, and now he's coming out to say all the SA he endured, things are not what they seem. A lot of horrific things can happen behind the scenes, and a lot of people in high places are unfortunately taken advantage of sometimes. Now, with the example I gave of Justin Bieber earlier, he has one song that he released titled Lonely, and in the video, it was depicting him as a child star when he was performing, and you can look at him, oh, the whole world loves him, he's got all this. But in the video, you could see how low he was. You could see whilst others were envying him, or Justin, he's the it boy, yeah, I want to be like him, cool like him. But as a child, that was a lot to take on. And he's come out in interviews to say how he was abusing all kinds of drugs. We don't know the root of people's blessings. We don't know how people got to where they are in life. Like, yes, I believe that some people, God has blessed them, but you also need to know there are some people who have done some things in darkness that have got them to the position that they're in. You know, when you hear sayings such as the filthy rich, keyword filthy, meaning some compromised things were done. And the reason why I keep mentioning riches is because that's one of the main things that people envy. I believe a lot of the top people in society have truly sold their souls. Not all of them, of course. And when I say sold your soul, I don't just mean the whole Illuminati that people talk about. My personal definition of selling your soul is when you do anything that would compromise maybe your own beliefs and values for the sake of things such as monetary gain. An example I will give, which I know is common, especially as a woman, and don't get offended by me saying this, getting naked online, being very promiscuous, essentially sexualizing yourself for the sake of the attention. And the reason I gave this example is I remember watching an interview a while back of Selena Gomez, and there was one album that she released. I'll look it up and put it here. And in the album, she was essentially naked, but in a certain position where her private parts were hidden. And she spoke up and said she didn't even really want to do that. She did not feel comfortable doing that. However, the industry and all those powerful people behind the scenes, I guess they influenced her like, yeah, do it. It's going to get you lots of sales and all those things. And surely it did. And unfortunately, especially in the music industry, and I'm mentioning this because I personally love music, I listen to a lot of music, I've seen lots of girls who, it's not even them, like it's girls that genuinely, when they started off, they were not even big on showing off their body and posting certain kinds of pictures, but they got into the industry and suddenly the entire image was flipped. And countless celebrities have come out to say that they're doing things they don't even like to do. Cardi B released a voice note on Twitter a couple years back where she said there was a song that she did. It was some kind of drill song, and she was saying she doesn't even want to do that music. She didn't want to make that song. And she said that that song, it invites demons that she had killed long ago. Demons.
Do you know what a demon is? You know what a demon is?
But people, they didn't take it seriously. Eventually, she did delete the voice note. People were saying, oh, she just meant it metaphorically. But no, she was literally borderline crying in this voice note. And some of you may not believe in this stuff and you may call it a conspiracy theory, but I do believe in this stuff. I believe there's people in high places that are, not all of them, like I said, but many that have compromised to get to where they are. And now they're controlled, and now they have to do certain things that they don't want to do, like posting certain provocative pictures, releasing certain kinds of music, doing all kinds of things. And here we are looking and envying, but you don't know what those people are battling behind the scenes. And the guy from Drake and Josh, like I said, that came out and revealed that he was being abused by one of the higher ups as a child star. But that's only one person. Because not everyone is comfortable coming out and speaking. Some people, maybe they're scared. And you need to remember, they have the kind of money and the resources and the power to shut you up. God knows what some of these Disney stars, Nickelodeon stars, musicians have been through behind the scenes. And in fact, some of them, for example, in the music world, if you listen to some of their lyrics, they indirectly tell you what they had to do or what they went through to get to where they are. Some of these musicians that started off being so happy and so jolly, just doing what they love, creating art, they release music, some dark music. And it makes you think, where is this song coming from? What's the root of this? But it's a cry for help. Many people are crying for help. Please don't envy. It's not worth it. You're blessed too. You have blessings in your life too. But when we look at others and we compare, we won't even realize just how blessed we as individuals can be. And one thing that's really important that I need you all to come to terms with, there will always be someone greater than you. There's no point envying and trying to, be so competitive, like you're not going to be at the top of everything. There will always be someone richer than you, smarter than you, more attractive than you, more likable than you. Whilst I have compared myself to others in my life, one thing I will say is I don't think envy, jealousy is really an issue for me. And not to say in a self-righteous way, oh yeah, I never envy, because sure, there definitely must have been instances. But for the most part, to God who can see my heart, I am so happy for other people. Because I know there's some people, they're only happy for you so long as they're doing better than you. So, that saying, people want you to do well, but not better than them. I want people to do well. I want them to do better than me because, again, like I said, there's always someone greater than you. And I believe sometimes our heart posture is what can stop us from being blessed in certain areas. Like, let's say you want a financial increase, but when you see other people blessed financially, you're angry, you're jealous, and you think, oh, they don't deserve it. But it's like, how can you expect God to bless you if you're not even happy for others? You know how sometimes something good happens in your life and you want to share it with someone, you want them to be happy for you, but you hold back and you don't because oh, they're going to be jealous of me or they're going to try to sabotage me. I pray no one ever feels that way concerning me. I clap for other people, and I know one day when it's my turn, I'll be clapped for too. And I'm not just clapping for others so they can clap back for me, but I'm saying I honor others and I thank God for their blessings. Be happy for others. That when it's your turn, you would want others to be happy for you, because you can't be bitter and disgruntled and not wanting others to do well, but then something good happens in your life and you're wondering why no one is happy for you. You're wondering why no one is congratulating you. But it starts with you. Many times people are much greater than they realize. You watching this, you are much more blessed than you may think you are. If you suffer with insecurity and self-esteem and always putting yourself down, there's a light in you. Everyone has a God-given star, but you just don't see it yet. But I pray one day you will. Okay, that's it, guys.